reputation for being a place where racers can come and speed with impunity. So I'm basically just checking to see if this is an issue you folks are aware of. And if so, what are some steps that you are or are considering taking to address it?
So a couple of things. One is this is, it ebbs and flows, but I've been on the board probably the longest, 15 years, and it has increased over the years. This past summer, with the assistance of the state police chief, reached out to them, and we had state police assisting us with speed enforcement. Second thing is what people don't realize is we only have one police officer on a shift. The third thing is, so it can only be in one place at one time. I'm not dismissing what you're saying, I'm just telling you some facts.
I've heard
okay?
all this
Yeah.
over the last 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is, which you already know then too, is that that roadway is primarily in the town too. So it takes both the village of the town and also Highland Falls on the other side, is town of Highland.
Yeah.
To enforce.
And the state.
And the state, which we had come out and help us out.
Yeah, I had them come out too. I spoke with Schoolfist. He arranged that.
Okay.
They came for a few weeks and then stopped.
Right, and our chief arranged it too with the state police, and they came out. And we've also asked for assistance from the county. So I also just received a phone call from one of your neighbors. I can't remember, last name begins with a C. He's the house that's right before, I think, the gate. Aria.
Yeah. Ari.
Yeah, Ari. Pardon me. I just literally got a call from him today. So what we can do is I don't think he named you, but he said there were some neighbors he would like to meet. So I will set up a meeting with you, him, the rest of the neighbors, with the chief, and we'll see what we can do.
There's also the decibel readers that we've,
Yeah, no,
Looked
that's,
into.
the chief is ordering that, but look, all these are, I'm just saying, the reality is, we're gonna do the best we can, and that is enlisting other other law enforcement agencies to help out. Look, the decibel meters and stuff, that helps out too. But the bottom line sometimes is that we only have one police officer on. We can put police officers on the weekends and extra ones we can, and we'll do the best we can, but I will absolutely meet with you and we'll come up with the best plan we can.
So I thank you.
Yes.
I've certainly heard the
Yeah.
lack of resources.
Yeah.
We know. So, just speaking to these racers, they have scanners. They have ways of communicating with one another. They know if an officer is stationed there for
Yeah,
a certain amount of time. He leaves, they come right back. So,
right,
despite the lack of resources, the strategy itself is flawed.
yeah.
So I'm just raising that,
Yep,
right? So
I get you.
One of the strategies, it sounds like you're deploying, doesn't sound like it's going to be effective by your own rationale that you don't have the
Yeah,
resources to do it.
so are you
anyway.
suggesting that we have cameras?
I'm
I'm
not
just saying,
suggesting
I'm not,
anything. I'm raising the problem
yeah.
to the board that's
Yeah, I get
responsible
you.
for
Yeah.
taking care of the
Yeah.
problem. I don't know what to do because I'm not in your position.
Yeah,
So that's all.
yeah, no,
I don't know what, I'm not suggesting anything.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
the
no, I thought you
problem
were,
is the problem.
yeah, I understood, I thought you had a suggestion.
I do not.
Okay,
I do,
okay.
but they're useless because I'm not in your spot.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, look, we'll meet. We'll go over it. And we'll figure out the best plan we can. I have no problem meeting with you. And again, it will be with the chief too.
Sure.
And actually, probably what we should do is enlist maybe the chief from the town of Cornwall too, because while not their jurisdiction where you live,
Well, part of
technically,
my house is in
part
the
of it
jurisdiction,
Okay.
but
So
it's right there, yeah.
So maybe chief, you can reach out to chief of police in the town. Yeah, Gebert. That would be good.
What about
So-
Town of Highlands also?
And the town of Highlands, true.
The mayor of Cold Spring also raised the issue of loud noise, which then had the town did some enforcement up on the mountain, I think, in relation to the sound.
Well,
'Cause
that's the
people in Cold Spring are complaining about the noise off of the mountain.
Well, that's the problem. I don't necessarily see a lot of the town of Cornwall police vehicles parked up there, enforcing it. So that's part of it, we can all pitch in. So,
Can I leave my email? Maybe
absolutely,
we can
yeah. Why don't you give me your telephone number? That would help.
718-490-1822.
Okay. And I will give you a ring.
Appreciate it.
All right? Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to make a comment? Elizabeth, I know you're later on. Yes, yeah, all right. Okay. So, let's move on to approval of the meeting minutes. Okay. Okay, before you have several sets of meeting minutes. I'm going to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the August 18th, 2025 meeting, the September 15th, 2025 Village Board Business Meeting, and to approve the minutes from the September 8th meeting and the October 6th special meeting. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion, or did you want to abstain?
Yeah, I haven't,
Did you
I haven't had a chance to review the minutes. I'm sure they're, I'm sure they're fine.
You want, we can,
Misses here.
I missed the last meeting, so I'm going to abstain from that one. If I can pull that separately, great. If not,
yes, so,
Do that.
Mr. Mayor, maybe you do them separately. Was everybody here?
yeah, so let's do it that way. All right, August 18th, everybody was here.
Oh, okay.
So, well, Billy, do you want to abstain?
I'm happy to review them. I didn't receive them.
Okay.
And I'm happy to review them.
Yeah, because I had reviewed them yesterday, made some corrections, so look, we could put it off till next month. I don't care.
I'm sorry, can I
Yes.
just, Mark? Someone's telling me that they, you know, okay.
We're recording.
Okay, they're saying the sound cut out?
Yeah, no, the live stream stopped, but we're recording it. We'll post it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
So why don't we just table that, the meeting minutes, we'll just add it to next month, there'll be 5 of them. Okay.
Amazon.
Okay.
It's Amazon.
All right, moving on to the treasurer's report. Okay, let me read that off. So, for the month of September, for the monthly water report, the village had $502,382.60. The town had $411,647.19, totaling $914,028.79, with a warrant number 10, which includes prepaids in the amount of $524,057.93. The year-to-date revenue expenditures report is as follows. The general fund revenue we had $4,444,617.02. The expenditures were $2,831,722.08. The water fund revenue was $2,342,508.83. The expenditures included $1,806,581.18. The sewer fund revenue included $365,073.06. Expenditures amounted to $177,741.50. The total receipts amounted to $7,236,348.05, and that equates to 73.85% in anticipated revenues. There were $4,983,981.76, which equates to about 56% in anticipated expenditures through September. The balance collected for the sewer capital is $574,085.26 through September. The total taxes collected through September was $2,925,082.10, and that equates to 96% of the taxes collected. Okay, the notes, the night class year-to-date interest as of September 30th. By fund, the average monthly yield was 4.055. In general, we had $30,656.73 in interest. The water fund had $26,349.96. The sewer had $16,919.91. And the fire department general had $3,451.03. And we received partial PFAS settlement check in the amount of $437,303.51, which is approximately 54.5% of the total gross award amount in the 3M settlement. So if you remember, with respect to that, a couple months ago, they were looking, they were looking for us to, what was it? In order for us to get money quicker, we would have had to pay a little bit more, but it worked out in the end that we got this check sooner than someone anticipated, so that was helpful. Let's moving on to the building department.
That goes to the water fund, right? The PFAS settlement?
Correct.
Thank you.
The building department, that is you, right, Phil?
Can be. Village of Cornwall on Hudson Building Department, report for September 2025. There were 13 building permits issued, 5 certificates of compliance and occupancy, 30 on-site inspections, 1 violation, no stop work orders, no municipal searches, no solar panels, and 6 fire inspections. Manny A. Carmona, Code Enforcement Officer.
Okay, who does the fire department? I always get the, Dave. All right, okay. I need to.
Village of Cornwall Hudson Board of Fire Commissioners, September 2025 Department Report.
Oh,
Automatic alarms, 2. Drills, 6. EMS calls, 6. Meetings, 2. Mutual aid requests from Cornwall, 1. Parades, 1. Structure fires, Tower Ladder 413 to Newburgh, 1. Work details, 4. Wires down, 1. Total volunteers hours, 297 and a half. Total events, 24. We answered 100% of our calls at 0 salary cost to the village. There was a near-miss incident in Salisbury Mills on October 10th. We covered 2 EMS calls for Cornwall EMS while they were delayed in responding. At the Orange County Volunteer Firemen's Association Parade, Storm King Engine Company number 2 took first place in men's Class B. Congratulations. Class B is 13 to 20 firefighters in the line of march. Our 1992 tanker took second place for tankers. The Tappan Fire Department provided coverage while our department was at the parade. Squad 411 provided standby coverage for the city of Port Jervis on Saturday, October 4th, while the department was out of state at a parade. Boat 416 will be dry docked by the second week in November. All hose and ground ladders were tested. 4 lengths of hose and 1 roof ladder were removed from service. We remain available to answer any questions about the tower ladder replacement. We eagerly await the approval of the training stipend, and we wish to keep the SCBA replacement conversation current. Okay.
all right. Any
Thank you, Rick.
questions?
Any detail on the New Windsor EMS delay, or is that's unusual for them, right?
The delay is unusual. They are normally fast to respond. These were BOS calls that we normally respond only to ALS calls because they knew they were going to be delayed. They asked that we come
Okay, thank you.
So you wanna know what a near miss is?
Oh, sure. I assumed it was an
The near miss incident, excuse me, we had called mutual aid to Salisbury Mills this past weekend. One of our members was in the fire. He's going through the building. He fell through the floor about waist deep. There was no injury. He was able to self-extricate and continue fighting the fire. But it is a near miss is, highlight the seriousness of the work that we do while we train.
and it was an active structure fire that,
It was, yes.
what was the result of the fire? It was contained and put out
It
and,
was extinguished, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if the building is salvageable or not, but
Right.
the fire was extinguished.
and our firefighter, no injuries or anything, you
No.
said, extricated, and
And
Thank-
all was good.
I assumed it was a vehicular near miss, so I wasn't aware of that. Thanks.
All right, moving on to the police department. Lori Beth, trustee Paleota.
Monthly police report, September 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. 376 total calls for service. Felonies, we have 0. Misdemeanors, violations, fraud, 1. Harassment, aggravated harassment were 2. Arrests, 0 arrests. Traffic vehicle, personal injury accidents, 0. Property damage accidents, 3. Traffic summonses issued, 12. Traffic warnings issued, 5. Parking summonses issued, 2. Traffic enforcement posts, 8. Speed radar sign postings, 3. Non-criminal activity, fire response calls, 2. Domestic incidents, 2. Alarm response calls, 1. Noise complaints, 1. Suspicious incident calls, 5. Animal complaints, 6. Disorderly person calls, 4. Departmental assist, Town of Cornwall, 6. EMS, 9. Other agencies, 0. Other police agencies, 2. Welfare check, 4. Citizens, 1. Other COH departments, 0. During the month of September 2025, the Village of Cornwall and Hudson Police Department applied for approximately $5,650 in grant funding from the DCJS Office of Program Development and Funding, which would be utilized to purchase 1 solar-powered radar speed sign and 1 solar-powered LED flashing traffic stop sign. During the month of September 2025, Chief Dixon, Sergeant Ruger, Police Officer Rodriguez, and Police Officer Thompson all attended autism awareness for the first responder training, which was held at the Orange County E911 Center, Goshen, New York. Respectfully, Chief Stephen Dixon. E.
Question for the chief. The solar-powered LED flashing stop sign, was that specifically requested for a spot?
Well, originally, probably the spot I would most likely want to put it would be at the corner of River Avenue and Hudson.
But does that have to have state
That's-
state
yeah,
approval?
unbeknownst to me, I ended up finding out after the fact that you have to have state approval because it.
Would they approve it?
What's that?
Would they approve it?
I don't know, I'd have to look into that. Otherwise.
That's a great spot.
Yeah, that was primarily why I did it. If there's any other issues, I can put obviously at other roadways. There's,
No, I think it's just good that, it's good that you, we get it. I hope we get it.
Try, contact them, see if you can. See, I know it'll probably take some time, but give it a shot. In the meantime, we can move it.
problem area, so I thought that would
Yeah.
help remedy it, you know?
Yeah.
All right. well,
We had talked
deploy-
about that originally.
Is it a permanent installation, or is it movable, or
No,
is
it's
it?
movable, he said.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so just deploying it to other locations until we find out from the state, which Dave, I'm sure you're gonna say is,
Would be another problem area that we
Yeah.
can apply to that.
all right.
Chief, can you tell us a little bit about the autism awareness?
Yeah, that was an outstanding program. Both of the instructors, one was a retired policeman from Florida, and the other was a retired fireman from Massachusetts, both of which had children that suffer from autism on different avenues of the spectrum. We got a lot of insight. Obviously, I went with my 3 full-timers, to gain insight, and when the course comes available again, I'm definitely gonna send more officers. Eventually, I'd like to do a program, for local residents who can register their children or adults who are on the spectrum. This way, officers will obviously first be aware that there's a child or adult suffering from autism. And this way we can keep photos and pedigree information and so forth. God forbid there was a situation where they elope from their residence. Helping officers to have that, on record.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right, any further questions of the chief? All right, moving on to the Public Works Department, trustee Brain.
Village of Cornwall on Hudson Department of Public Works, September 2025. Trash collected for the month, 116.25 tons. Recycling collected for the month is 18.75 tons. Yard waste collected for the month, 100 yards. Repairs and maintenance of village-owned vehicles and equipment. Blacktop patching, maintenance of village-owned properties, street sweeping. Funding extensions were requested for FEMA and USDA. Those have been submitted. The department assisted the police with street closures in the village square, and Mountain Road, Deer Hill, and Braden Place have all been fiber matted. Note, fall bulk pickup was set for today.
It's a beautiful thing.
Superintendent Halverson attended NICOM's Public Works School in Lake George from October 5th through 9th. David Halverson, Superintendent of Public Works.
Okay, any questions of Dave?
Great job on the bulk cleanup, Dave, as always.
Yeah.
Look pretty.
Okay, moving on to the Water Department. Trustee Galliano.
September 2025 monthly report, monthly production 25,234,000 gallons, daily average 841,000 gallons. Samples, they collected 40 samples in accordance with DOH regulations and US EPA Unregulated Contaminant Monitor Rule 5, abbreviated as UCMR5. Treatment, routine operations and maintenance, and began process to start up the Black Rock WTP water treatment plant. Transmission and distribution, 49 utility markouts were completed. They completed 4 water service shutoff turn-ons at owners' requests, repaired curb valve box at 119 Harold Avenue, repaired a fire hydrant at Clark Avenue and Cherry Avenue, repaired a water main break on Canterbury Avenue. Leak detection survey is underway. Meters, they read all residential and commercial water meters. 4 final water meter readings were completed. 4 residential water meters were replaced. 10 water line inspections were completed. 9 miscellaneous repairs were completed. Property maintenance, routine property maintenance. They also installed new concrete lid and entryway hatch on Alec Meadow Dam valve vault. Some notes. Hasbrook Avenue water main project was completed for a total cost of $240,000, including material, in-house labor, and equipment. This was a cost savings of $353,000 when compared to the engineering estimate of $593,000 if the project had been completed by an outside contractor. The filter membrane molecules at the Black Rock water treatment plant need replacement at an approximate cost of $100,000. The water superintendent was on vacation Friday 10/10 through Monday 10/20, and the water maintenance leader Dan Nye was the point of contact during his absence. Respectfully submitted, Michael P. Trainer, Senior Water Superintendent.
All right, any questions? Well, Mike's not here, but I can ask him. All right, moving on to the New Windsor EMS update. David.
Yes,
our
sir.
deputy mayor.
New Windsor EMS report for September 2025. Call volume report, 375 total calls, 100% of coverage. 240 to New Windsor, 80 to Cornwall, 12 to Cornwall and Hudson, 15 to Highland Falls, 4 to Woodbury, 2 to Newburgh Town, 1 to Newburgh City, 1 to Beacon MCI, 3 transports, 6 West Point football contract. Response times, 7 minutes and 10 seconds New Windsor, 5 minutes and 49 seconds Cornwall, 6 minutes and 30 seconds Cornwall on Hudson. Operational, the budget for 2026 draft approved. Still no progress with ECAS grant, owed $200,000. 1 employee termination, DOH notified. 1 accident while transporting a New Windsor resident to a New York City hospital. No damage to our vehicle. Report made to NYS DOH. No injuries. Cornwall and Hudson Fire Department has been assisting with the first response to BLS calls in the village if the Cornwall unit is already on call. They assisted 3 times in the past month to ensure no response delays. Orange County 911 was made aware of the change in protocol. What's the change in protocol, Charlie?
That,
They don't call they don't get called first?
they do get called first. Things, New Windsor ambulance is dispatched by town of New Windsor police, not by the 911 center. There were some hiccups on the two calls that are mentioned in our report, because they were not ALS calls. The dispatchers didn't think that we were supposed to be dispatched. So it was made clear that when New Windsor Ambulance requests us for a BLS call, we will respond.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Okay, New Windsor EMS will be receiving an award from Orange County Executive for a response to the MCI on the New York State Thruway, in which we transported 19 patients, 16 of them being children, some with life-threatening injuries, all made a full recovery. New Windsor EMS responded with all 6 ambulances without delay. Page 2. Cornwall Fund Drive went out. The funds will go towards painting the building and updating the crew rooms. 2024 audit completed. Taxes were filed. The report will be sent to the town/village. Weekend differential added to help cover open weekend shifts and entice part-time employees to work and reduce overtime. The Cornwall Hudson Board of Directors spot is open. We'll be interviewing Charlie Muller, who was a former Kovac member, to fill this position. 1 surplus vehicle still for sale, 2018 Explorer, $25,000 or best offers. 2 new ambulances for 2026. We're working on funding for one of the vehicles. We have a grant for one. The cost of 2 new fully stocked ambulances, $700,000. Note, in 2019, an ambulance without equipment was $155,000. This year, the same ambulance is $323,000. Open supervisor position, as Steve Palouse, our current ALS supervisor, will be going to medical school. Please reach out with any questions. Michael B. Big, Chief of Operations.
Alrighty. Moving on to resolutions. All right, the first one up is scheduling a public hearing on the introductory local law 10 of 2025 regarding volunteer firefighter stipend. So, for the public's notice, so this law is known as the Volunteer Firefighters Training Stipend Program Law for the Village of Cornwall and Hudson. It's the intent of the board declares that the volunteer firefighters are essential services to protect life, property from fire, and contributing to safety. The other intent is the recruitment and retention of volunteer firefighters is vital to the continued provision and effectiveness of the fire protection services within the village. And we want to establish a stipend program for its volunteer firefighters in accordance with the General Municipal Law 200, which was passed a couple of years ago, or at least a year ago. So the establishment of the program is for volunteer firefighters of the village, and it's administered by the village clerk under the supervision of the Board of Trustees in consultation with the Board of Fire Commissioners. Some of the other aspects of it, the eligibility criteria includes the volunteer firefighter shall be required to be an active member in good standing, a minimum of 1 year in service, required certification and training as determined by the Board of Fire Commissioners. We do have a couple of questions, but we'll get to, but it also includes a minimum number of or percentage of responding to fire calls during a quarter, attending a minimum number or percentage of training sessions. The stipend amount will be set annually by a resolution, via resolution by the Board of Trustees. The administration and the record keeping of it will be done by the Board of Fire Commissioners, are responsible for maintaining the accurate records. They are also shall submit at least on an annual basis, detailing the eligibility status of each volunteer, and that would go to the board of the village board. And let's see, last few highlights. The program's review and modification. The fire commissioners will conduct an annual review of the stipend program to determine its effectiveness in promoting recruitment. And based on the results of the annual review, the Board of Fire Commissioners may recommend to the Village Board of Trustees modifications to the stipend program. So with that, does the board, anyone on the board have any questions? Because we have Charlie here, and we also have Rick Jampola, one of the fire commissioners. So anyone have any questions?
No.
I do.
Question about the,
The question is this, and that is, respond to a minimum or a number, or a minimum number or percentage of fire calls. How much are we talking about? Or is there a standard, a state standard? What is it, Charlie or Rick?
So right now, the standard for LoSAP is 10% of the calls. I believe we would stick with 10%. And instead of minimum number of trainings per quarter, that would actually be drills, in-house drills, to make sure that we are opening this up to active firefighters and not just somebody who decided to drop in and take the course.
I do have a follow-up based on your question, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Charlie, the state standard or the recommended standard is 10%. What is your actual percentage, if you know, as you sit here?
That's LoSAP. That's different, though. LoSAP is, go ahead, Charlie, sorry.
And it varies from firefighter to firefighter.
You don't have a general average? I'm sure you have some that are
Yeah, we have-
participating a little more than others, but
Certainly, we have members who are making 80% of the calls, and others who are down around 10%. It mostly varies upon availability.
you don't have anybody below the 10% minimum.
There might be a couple, but
Okay.
they wouldn't be going to the training.
Okay, thank you.
Charlie, with respect to that, I mean, I know you're going by the LoSAP standard, which is the Length of Service Award Program. Do you know any other fire districts, fire companies that have adopted this, and what percentages they have adopted? Or do they stick to what the LoSAP?
I believe Washingtonville, just two companies just recently adopted it.
Mhm.
I believe one is Washingtonville, I don't remember who the other is.
Salisbury Mills, I think.
I'm sorry, Goshen and Salisbury Mills. I don't know if they put a percentage in there. That's not required by New York State law, it's something that we put.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. So I think that's really what we're hitting on. There was a percentage stated in an earlier draft of the law, Charlie, and then we got Mike's comments, and rather than state a specific percentage, it just said a percentage or a certain minimum number. But I think the only issue is, how's that going to be determined the first time? You know, does the Board of Fire Commissioners adopt a policy, right, to do that? So you have some standard to follow. So I think that's really the issue. One of the issues, anyway.
Yes, yeah. No, that's exactly the issue. I just wanted to know what the standard's gonna be.
I don't think it's unreasonable for the commissioners to adopt the policy.
Well, just so everybody knows, right? I mean,
absolutely.
that
All right, in the meantime, can you, because we're setting us up for the public hearing next month. In the meantime, Charlie, can you just find out from, at least for those two, if you could find out from a couple other fire districts, what their percentage is? All right?
and Mr. Mayor, so I copied you, Rick, and I copied you, Charlie, and Mike. So obviously, if you can, I'm assuming in the first instance that Mike was kind of commenting generally for everyone. So I did incorporate some of Mike's changes. So if you guys can please take a look, get any comments, questions you have to me, I think with the goal of having all the comments done before the next work session.
Yeah.
So that if board members are the same, so that I can make a final draft, it can be discussed, and if it's in good shape, we can continue with the public hearing for the next week.
in section 80-7, the funding and budgetary provisions, it goes from subsection A to D. So I'm guessing that in an earlier draft, there was a B and a C, but that is the area where we had had some discussion about understanding what the total likely cost is for a year and whether or not we might choose to cap that. So just not to solve it now, but I just want to make sure we flag that as one of the things to be discussed.
Okay. So with that, I will make a motion. I'll read off the resolution, excuse me. So whereas the village board believes it's necessary to create chapter 80 of the village code entitled Fire Department and adopting a volunteer firefighter training stipend program. And whereas the village board wishes to set a time and place for the public hearing on the introductory law to create chapter 80. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved that the village board of trustees hereby determines that it will be the lead agency with respect to the review of the proposed local law, the project, in accordance with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act and Part 617 of the regulations implementing SECRA, since there are no other agencies that have had authority to approve the project, and let it be further resolved that the village board hereby classifies the action as an unlisted action under SECRA, and let it be further resolved that the public hearing be held by the village board in order to receive comments and suggestions regarding the proposed local law concerning volunteer firefighting training stipend program, and to receive any comments concerning the potential adverse environmental impacts of the proposed legislation in accordance with SECRA on November 17th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at Village Hall located at 325 Hudson Street, Quoin, Hudson, New York. And it is further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to cause said public notice of said hearing to be given as provided by law. May I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to the next one up. The Town in Blooming Grove IMA, we were gonna put this as a resolution, but very long story short, which we've spoken about before, is that in the past, over the past several months, the Town of Blooming Grove has purchased, they've experienced a significant amount of leaks in their jurisdiction. They came to us, they purchased water from us, I think at this point to the tune of about $20,000. And pursuant to that request, we've asked council to prepare a intermunicipal agreement for water sales, a general one that can be used with other municipalities. And we can also dial it in if we need to, but, so Joe prepared the IMA in general. It talks about, the terms of the agreement, the duration of the IMA would be for 2 years, and then it automatically renews upon the anniversary date. The parties have the right to terminate the agreement for any reason, provided that the terminating party communicates with not less than 15 days prior to the stated date of termination. The sale of the water shall be up to 100,000 gallons per day. In the event that the other municipality that's purchasing the water from us exceeds 100,000 gallons per day, it's got to provide at least 72 hours notice to the village, and we can reject that. The village is going to set the town water rate. That's to be determined. Right now, it's at a minimum of $22 per 1,000 gallons. The village reserves the right to modify the sales and the price of the water to the municipality that's purchasing it. And the water supplied is going to be metered and logged accurately. Let's see, the village will bill the municipality that's purchasing on the 15th day of the month, and that municipality will pay for the water within 30 days of receipt of the billing. Lastly, the village retains and reserves the right not to supply the water to that other municipality at any given time, if in the sole determination of the village board of trustees or the water superintendent that it would leave the village unable to meet its own demands for its customers or detrimentally impact the operation of the village water department. So we're asking that at this point, our council is going to send that over to the Town of Blooming Grove so they can take a look at it. see if they have any comments on it, and then from that, we'll entertain the resolution next month. Joe, you have anything to add?
Yeah, the one issue would be the board was questioning what category of pricing and how it would fit into the
Yeah.
pricing structure. So before I sent it over to the town or the town's attorney, I think we should at least be on the same page with
Yeah, let's
Mike,
talk to Mike.
and we can, and then I can go over.
Okay, very good. All right, moving on to approving the bid documents, specifications, set the bid dates for the annual supply bids. So, on to that, let's see. IMA. Okay, supply bids, all right, so annually, we have to put out a entertain a resolution of the village board authorizing the mayor to execute a water sales intermunicipal, no, wait, hold on, wait, that's this one, the bid document, here we go. Approving bid documents and authorizing publication of bids for annual supplies. So, I'm going to ask the village board, whereas the village board has received bid documents and specifications for the solicitation of water treatment chemicals, off-road diesel fuel, and sludge removal services. And whereas the village board has reviewed the bid documents and specifications and approved the same, now therefore be it hereby resolved that the village board hereby authorizes the publication of the notice to bidders, indicating the bids will be accepted as follows. So until 2 p.m. on November 6th for water treatment chemicals, until 2:15 on November 6th for off-road diesel fuel, and until 2:30 p.m. on November 6th for sludge removal services. May I have a second,
Second.
please? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next one up is to seek a property tax exemption for 2026. So I'll read the resolution. Resolution of the Village Board of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson authorizing the village treasurer to seek a real property tax exemption. Okay, whereas the Village of Cornwall and Hudson is the owner of real property in the town of Cornwall and the town of New Windsor, County of Orange, identified on the tax map as follows. And it lists the, as per the document, it lists the section, block, and lot of each one of the parcels for both the town and town of Cornwall and New Windsor. And whereas those above real property parcels are devoted solely to the public use and part of the village-owned water system as sites for water wells, plant treatment, chlorinator, and watershed. And whereas the real property tax law, section 406, subsection 3, provides the authority for each taxing district in which the municipality-owned property is used in such a manner as located to grant the whole exemption from real property taxes levied by that taxing district. And whereas such exemption for the Village of Cornwall and Hudson water supply site, real property would provide a direct and immediate benefit for taxpayers and water users of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson, which would enhance real property ownership, encourage industrial and commercial development, and exemplify a spirit of intermunicipal cooperation between the County of Orange and this village. Now therefore be resolved, the Village Board of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson, on behalf of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson, its taxpayers, water system users, and citizens hereby petition the County of Orange, Town of Cornwall, Cornwall Central School District, the town of New Windsor to grant a whole exemption from state, school, county, and town real property taxes commencing for calendar year 2026 for the parcels of real property identified above and additional properties as may be identified for which an exemption may be appropriate. And be it resolved that the mayor and the attorney for the village are authorized to attend such meetings of the Orange County Legislature and committees thereof may be appropriate to aid and assist in the deliberations of this petition by that body. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now, next up is to set the village election. This year it's changing a little bit, so the village election, when it's a general village election, it's scheduled to typically to be held on the third bylaw by election law 15-104 is scheduled to be held on the third Tuesday of March for any year in which the 17th day of March shall fall on such Tuesday. The Board of Trustees of such village shall provide that the election shall be held on the 18th day of March. And that is what's happening in 2026. So instead of Tuesday, it's going to be a Wednesday. So pursuant to that, I'll read the resolution. Whereas the New York State election law mandates that each village must establish the polling place and hours that the polls will be open for village elections. And whereas the Village Board of Cornwall and Hudson, after due consideration hereon, has determined the polling location and hours of voting in accordance with the standards set forth in the New York State election law. Now therefore, let it be hereby resolved that the Village Board of Cornwall and Hudson, that pursuant to New York State election law, section 15-104, subsection 3, the location of the polls for the election of March 18th, 2026 shall be the Village Hall located at 325 Hudson Street, Cornwall and Hudson, New York, and be it further resolved that the Village Board, the Village of Cornwall and Hudson, that public voting for 2 village trustees for terms of 4 years, thought we did 3 years. 4 years, okay.
4 and 2.
Okay, that's right, I was overridden on that. And will be conducted on March 18th with the polls remaining open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Do we not have the discretion to move it by a week, I guess, under state
No.
law or something like that? So it's like,
Yeah.
Do it.
all right.
Move election day?
Well, we're moving election day.
Well, the state's moving election day.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Oh, I'm,
We didn't, yeah, the
oh,
state.
the state election law mandates
Yes, that's
St.
what I-
Patrick's Day. Fascinating. Okay. No further discussion.
Yes. That's why I was reading off the law, because I was like, yeah, this is why we're doing it, so.
Yeah, I was confused.
Okay, did all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, all right. Let's see, moving on.
Did get a second.
Appoint the village clerk and tax collector. Okay, so let's start with our deputy clerk. So, our deputy clerk, who is sitting beside me, and we have Jacqueline Masterson, who's been filling in her position because Megan has been taking on the responsibilities as the village clerk. And with that, Jacqueline Masterson has taken on a bunch of the responsibilities from Megan as the deputy clerk. And with that, just a little background on Jacqueline. She's worked for us for a little bit over a year. She's a lifelong resident of Cornwall and went to the Cornwall School District. Village resident, actually not a lifelong resident, village resident for 11 years. And she started as our part-time clerk, and she took on additional responsibilities as the record clerk, and then as the deputy clerk responsibility since August 2025. So with that, I would, where is my motion? Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, so with that, I would like the board to entertain a motion to appoint Jacqueline Masterson as our deputy village clerk effective November 1st, 2025, and serving out the balance of Megan Gishwin's appointment ending April 6th, 2026, at an annual salary of $52,780. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to Megan Gishwin. Oh, I'm sorry, Jacqueline, congratulations. Well, I see you all the time, so I'm sorry. So, congrats.
Just to look at you.
Well played, Dave. All right, moving on to our village clerk. So, Megan has been with us since 2021, October 2021. She was originally hired as our DPW and Building Department Secretary, where she served until being promoted to the Deputy Village Clerk back in July 2023. And then in August 2024, she was appointed the Village Treasurer while continuing to hold her title as the Deputy Village Clerk. And since her appointment, I have to say, she's dedicated countless hours to her training under guidance of Gene Mahoney. And I know to this day, she still bothers Gene, but Gene doesn't call me and complain about it, so that's all good. Again, Megan is a Cornwall resident and has strong ties to the village. Her late grandparents, Mike and Kathy Maroney, I didn't know that. Okay. Were lifelong village residents, and Mike served as both a village mailman and member of the Storm King Fire Engine Company. And from a young age, her grandparents instilled in her a deep love of community and public service, which she has expressed here. And with that, I would like the board to entertain a motion to appoint Megan Gishwin as village clerk and our Work Violence Committee member effective November 1, 2025, and serving out the balance of the term, which expires at noon on the first Monday in April of 2027 at the annual salary of $76,440. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Megan. Well
And
deserved.
with Jacqueline, too. I have to say that I interact with Jacqueline and Megan daily, and they're they're proactive, they're all over it. They keep me abreast of everything, and they're just pleasant to work with. So, and I know the public. I've gotten lots of accolades for both of them. So I'm glad that you guys are here to stay for hopefully a very long time, because I think you have already served the village well in both of your additional responsibility, taking on those additional responsibilities, and hopefully you will be here for a long time. So thanks again, and congratulations.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
did those the agenda says village clerk and tax collector? Is that what the resolution said?
I can
didn't
amend
hear
that now.
that.
It said we didn't include in I will amend it said our Work Violence Committee member and our tax collector, so I will,
Okay,
no, we have it as a separate appointment.
there you go.
Okay,
All right.
don't get ahead of yourself.
All right, okay.
Guys, all
I
right.
wanted to show you I was paying attention. that's all.
So with that, I'm going to make a motion to appoint Megan Gitchman as our tax collector effective November 1st, 2025, with a term ending on April 6, 2026. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just from a salary perspective, that is
All part
as a part of it.
Yes,
yeah.
part of it, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And an additional responsibility, Jacqueline. I'm going to make a motion to appoint Jacqueline Masterson as deputy tax collector effective November 1st, 2025, with a term ending April 6, 2026. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Congratulations again, Jacqueline. All right. Just make sure the candy dish is full and we'll be good. All right. Yes. Yeah, keep the dog bones away from that dish, all right? Okay. Moving on, we'll have the surplus fire department equipment. So we've been advised by the fire department, they would like to request the board to deem the following equipment surplus. So I'm gonna make a motion to declare the following items surplus property and to list for sale. So 80 fire hose adapters, various sizes circa 1970s. Wow, they're,
Are they
Probably
solid brass?
They're not solid brass, no.
I don't want them then.
5 fire hose nozzles, various sizes circa 1970s. 9 50-foot sections of 3-inch diameter fire hose circa 2010s. 6 100-foot sections of 5-inch diameter fire hose circa the 2010. 2 10-foot sections of 3-inch diameter hard suction hose circa the 1980s, and 12 cairns of 1010/1044 fire helmets circa the 2000s. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Obsolete equipment has failed testing.
You don't think you can get some more time out of any of this?
I take it we have modern replacements for all these that'll last a similar amount of time? That's good.
All right. Did you already give me a second?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. You're on 1, 2, fire. Oh, special events. Okay. Yes, all right. So, as you've heard me say before, Dock in the Box Filming, they're the company that's been filming down on our waterfront in various places in the village and actually some locations in the town. They are looking to film another additional 4 days coming up. One of which is going to be where they filmed before on near the corner of River Avenue and Shore Road, on Bayview Avenue at Camp Olmsted, and then the other 2 times they're going to be using our parking lot down in Donahue Park, where they park their vehicles, and they make it a sort of a base camp. So they've given us the dates for those. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the audiovisual permit for Dock in the Box Corporation Best Medicine to film in the vicinity of 114 Bayview Avenue, which is Camp Olmsted, on October 27th, 2025, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 53 River Avenue on October 28th, 2025, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Donahue Memorial Park for parking while filming at the Cornwall Yacht Club on November 6th and November 5th, and November 6th, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I'm asking that the board, as I've done before, requesting that the board allow me to negotiate a fee for the use of those areas. The insurance and appropriate documentation have been received, and the application is contingent upon returning the premises to its pre-filming condition. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? As I said before, we pretty much predetermined most of the filming fees down in the parking, in our parking area down in Donahue Memorial Park, which is in the vicinity of around $1,250. And we charge much more for that closure of, the intermittent closure of River, that near the vicinity of River Avenue and Shore Road. So I will stay within those boundaries, or depending upon how much they maneuver or how big their footprint becomes, then I will add to the fee. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And the last 2, before we get to your item, Elizabeth, and that is, let's see, the police department budget line transfer for vehicle purchase. All right, hold on 1 second, get all these done. Okay, so the chief is requesting a budget line transfer, so, and this is with respect to transferring approximately $58,000 from the Capital Reserve Fund to the Village of Cornwall and Hudson Police Department expense line, and that's in order to purchase either 2023, 2024, 2025 Dodge Durango. All right, so I am going to make let's see, just received a grant, okay. And with that, the chief notes that we've received a grant award from New York State Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant in the amount of $58,000. So that's what we're transferring. So I'm going to make the motion to, let's see, we recently received the grant award from the New York State FY 2022. Is that what it is? 2022?
That's how they identify.
Wow. Okay. Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant Program, Bureau of Justice, in the amount of $58,000. You have requested the formal transfer of the $58,000 from the Capital Reserve Fund to the Police Department expense line in order to purchase what I said before, Dodge Durango pursuit vehicle, along with the purchase and installation of all applicable emergency equipment for a 5-year, 75,000-mile vehicle warranty. So I'm going to make the following motion to approve the deputy village treasurer to decrease line A599 fund balance in the amount of $58,000 and increase line A3120.4, the police expense line, in the amount of $58,000 to purchase one Dodge Durango SUV police pursuit vehicle, along with the purchase and installation of all applicable emergency equipment and a 5-year / 75,000-mile vehicle warranty. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just from a budgetary standpoint, we have the 58,000, we have a check from the state or trip?
They will reimburse
Account
us
transfer.
after we
Okay,
purchase it first.
so it's in anticipation and reimbursement. All right, thank you.
Yes, and he's attached we have the grant award notice from the Department of Criminal Justice Services. I mean, I have it. Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Congrats again on that grant.
Okay. And the last one on the resolutions, and this pertains to
Filtration.
the water filtration modules. So, was it 2 weeks ago, our water and superintendent advised us that the filtration skid units at the Black Rock Water Treatment Plant were in need of replacement filter modules. And he notes that each of the 2 skid units has the capacity to filter up 500,000 gallons per day of raw water sourced from the Black Rock reservoirs and contains 48 filter modules per unit. He attached 2 quotes from Film Tech Corporation, which is the sole manufacturer and distributor of the proprietary filter modules used in the system that we have. So the quote one was for the purchase of 96 replacement filter modules, including all related installation components at the total cost of $103,747.20. And quote number 2, an optional on-site installation service by Film Tech Corporation technician for the total cost of $16,800. Let me just check something. Does he include that in here? Or is it just 20,000? I'm just checking in his,
He just says the total.
he just has the total, okay. So he's not asking for the installation, okay. So the water superintendent is recommending that we approve the purchase of the 96 filter modules for that amount I just advised, the 103,000, a bit over that. And he's stating that their in-house staff, our water department staff, will perform the installation. So with that, and this is a sole source procurement. So
Yes.
that,
And I did prepare a written resolution for the board.
yes, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So whereas the village water superintendent has advised the Board of Trustees that the water filtration skids at the Black Rock Water Treatment Plant are in need of replacement, and whereas municipal purchases of $20,000 or more require competitive bidding pursuant to General Municipal Law 103, and whereas General Municipal Law Section 103 was enacted to guard against favoritism, improvidence, and fraud and corruption through the use of public bidding and to ensure the prudent and economical use of public monies for the benefit of taxpayers and to facilitate the acquisition of goods and services of maximum quality at the lowest cost. And whereas the General Municipal Law authorizes municipalities to forego public bidding when there is only one source or supplier for the goods required. And whereas the superintendent has advised the necessary filter modules are proprietary to the Film Tech Corporation, the original manufacturer of the technology in use at the Black Rock Water Treatment Plant, such that no alternate vendors are authorized to supply compatible replacement parts, including the required water filtration skid units. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Cornwall and Hudson, that the water superintendent is authorized to purchase 96 replacement filter modules, 48 per skid unit, from the sole source vendor Film Tech Corporation at the cost of $103,747.20 in accordance with the vendor's price quote dated October 15th, 2025. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just the statement, we have a statement from DuPont Water Solutions that MEMCOR membrane technology is the sole exclusive supplier and the proprietary. I'm assuming there was a corporate name change or something like that is result, because we have Film Tech here, but we've got this DuPont piece that says it's,
Let's see.
the M10C modules are proprietary, et cetera. And it does say in the quote here, it says M10C, so it's the same part, and I'm assuming it's just a name change. But just in case,
I'm
Gotta read the phone.
there's a separate,
I'm looking at the estimate that they provide.
Yeah, I went by,
Excuse me.
yeah, I went by Mike's
He means this one,
memo.
Mayor.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay, I'm looking at what's attached to his
this-
memo.
this sheet that came.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if they have this on here. Let's see. Seal heavy. Hold on. Let's see anything about. Well, it must be because I can see an email address with a point of contact being at DuPont.com.
Okay.
So that must be it. And there's
Companies
no,
within companies.
yeah, there's
It does
no,
identify the right part here, as far as I can tell.
yes,
Spare M10C module.
yeah. So I think we are good to go. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That one, that's that one. All right, moving on. Okay, so now let's talk about sidewalk replacement in front of Storm King Lounge and Fair. So I was contacted by Elizabeth Ganone this past week in regards to speaking about that because at our meeting 2 weeks ago, our DPW Superintendent Dave Halverson advised that we will be that it needs replacing our sidewalk in front of Storm King Lounge and Fair along Idlewild Avenue and then going into Churchill Street and actually going down a portion of River Avenue. And if you remember at our work session, we discussed this. One of the items we discussed was there are two trees, actually three, if you count the one that's closest to Pepitini around the corner on River Avenue. We discussed removal, replacement, pruning, and the general consensus on the board was that we wanted to keep the trees and prune them back. So Elizabeth contacted me. She wanted to address the board about it. So as she represents Storm King Lounge and Fair. So Elizabeth, take it away.
I represent Storm King and Associates, Pepitini, Storm King Lounge and Fair, and also now Storm King Theater as well. So
Okay.
we occupy a lot of space in that little
go.
area. So I will read as this letter is stated, but first, before I get into it, I do want to say how much I love trees, specifically mature trees. So for me to come and even present this and talk about this, it's not the easiest conversation for me to have, but the reality is trees, especially ornamental trees or trees that are used in public spaces or even in your own house when you're designing your front landscape, right? They, over time, can outgrow their space, and we often have to make tough decisions to change them. And I think that's where we're at with this. So, dear members of the board, we write on behalf of businesses located at the corner of Idlewild and River Avenue, Storm King and Associates, Pepitini, Storm King Theater, and Storm King Lounge, to respectfully request the village board revisit the tree species and streetscape design along the section of Hudson Street during the upcoming sidewalk replacement and beautification project. The historical context. In May 1961, the Cornwall Association, a group formed in 1956 to enhance the natural beauty of the area, donated 20 honey locust trees to beautify Hudson Street. That gift reflected the values of civic beautification and community pride we continue to share today. However, after more than 6 decades, the original honey locusts have matured beyond the capacity of their confined sidewalk environment. The roots have disrupted the sidewalks, causing premature and costly repairs. Their canopies now overhang Storm King Theater, damaging the roof and the marquee. And the narrow sidewalk width raises concerns for ADA accessibility and pedestrian safety, especially at the corner of Idlewild and Hudson, where crowds gather throughout the year. Pruning these trees would severely disfigure them, likely leading to public outcry once their appearance changes dramatically, and only temporarily addresses the problems mentioned above. The reality we face. It is normal for trees to outgrow their spaces, and when that happens, it can be a sad and difficult decision to make. That is the situation we face today, trees that have outgrown their home. With the sidewalk scheduled for replacement, we have a rare opportunity to do something truly outstanding. While we benefit from not having overhead power lines on this side of the street, we also face significant challenges, most notably a narrow sidewalk that must safely accommodate pedestrians, planters, and gathering space. That's why we come to you, not only with concerns, but with ideas, a set of thoughtful, beautiful, and sustainable alternatives that will complement the character of Village Square and honor its history. The request for action. As the sidewalk is slated for replacement, we believe this moment presents a perfect opportunity to plan a streetscape that upholds the original beautification vision while ensuring safety, accessibility, and long-term sustainability. We respectfully propose that the existing honey locust trees be removed and be replaced with a mix of compact, non-invasive tree species and high-impact planter installations that better suit this space and today's needs. I have 2 recommended approaches that are outlined here. Some are a little bit technical because it uses the horticultural appropriate name for the trees, which I can't say, but I will summarize them for you. First is replacing the existing honey locust with compact ornamental trees known for manageable root systems and aesthetic appeal. Then it names them. One of the names I can say is a Japanese lilac is one of the suggestions. The species are native or regularly accepted, non-messy, and regularly approved by New York municipalities for sidewalk plantings. I have also identified several unique lesser-known varieties that would bring both beauty and distinction to the space, which actually there's some ones that I favor, and I'll get to that. The second option is to adopt a streetscape design by incorporating architectural planters and furnishing zones where space is tight. For example, bench-style planters with layered seasonal plantings near the square, combined with compact trees set further down Idlewild and Hudson. Planters can also serve as street furniture elements or safety buffers without affecting ADA clear paths. I like that because when you think about the crowds that gather, especially during the bandstand concert, more than this year, I think more than any other year, I've seen them gathering in front of like the GHS like vestibule there. They also tend to gather around the curve at Idlewild and Hudson. So if we had the one tree that's almost in front of the Storm King sign is really the tree I have the most issue with because it creates such a narrow sidewalk. If that was better utilized with a bench, and the bench doesn't have to be permanent, it actually could be moved based on whatever is going on, but it would be heavy, so you'd have to have like a lot of people to help you kind of move it. And then they have the beautiful plantings that you can build into these benches so they can be seasonal, flowers, whatever it might be. And you can position them so that people can continue to gather across the street, enjoy the bandstand concerts or whatever event is happening in the circle, give them some place to sit, but also stick with the beautification goals and still get trees by planting the trees just further down the street. Our commitment is that we recognize the village's financial constraints and wish to make clear that we are prepared to fund, maintain these beautiful improvements entirely at our own expense. Our businesses will cover the costs of tree procurement, installation, watering, and ongoing maintenance. We will work with the village to ensure consistency with broader streetscape and beautification standards. So I have included a lot of examples because I didn't want to come and entirely put this on you guys to solve. I also included the original articles of the plantings. And this picture here is the only picture I have of the theater in color from the 1960s, which is around the time the locusts were planted. You can see the little baby locust in the back. I thought that was cool to kind of share. So there you go. So I like I said, I do have a genuine appreciation, especially for the history and the reason why they were planted. And we all do, my family, and the businesses as well. The article here shows the Cornwall business, it's actually the Greater Cornwall Association, it wasn't a business association, and the day that they were planted and everyone celebrating that event. But then it goes into, did a lot of research to find out the least invasive root systems and the most beautiful trees that could potentially fit the space. And I mean, I would personally choose something super unique. I really like the idea of this paperback maple. That's number 6. It has really interesting bark. It's red, which would complement that corner because of the colors that are there with the architecture of the theater itself. It's not a native tree, but there are native options for that as well. And I kind of use the benchmark as what is the alternative to the stinky trees that nobody likes anymore, but that are beautiful in spring. So the pear alternatives. So they're all there. There's also some drawings of what it would look like if you included something like benches with planters as well, or more narrow trees that take up less space and ground so that you could make the sidewalk a bit wider and more pedestrian friendly, and possibly accommodate strollers and wheelchairs and any other special needs a bit better. But I do think the reality is, and it's an unfortunate reality, that those trees are overly mature for the space. And I think the big issue is once they're pruned appropriately, they're not going to look like they look right now. And when you look at how they hang, they are predominantly overhanging on the theater. So when you chop that off and it's just a little sliver back, I mean, you know the hell you get when Central Hudson comes and butchers the trees. Imagine, you know, what you're going to hear once these trees are cut back. And we don't want to, like, why? You have the sidewalks coming up. The ground is going to be exposed. It's the perfect opportunity to say, you know what, we can do something better. This is a long time since 1960 when it was originally planted, and I don't want to be the only one. I would hope that we could form a small working group to really solve this and do something that would benefit the community better, and that area much better, given the fact that it's grown substantially with events and gatherings and everything else. So
Thank you very much for all the hard work on here. I'm sure there are some questions from the board.
Well, I know Elizabeth wasn't aware that we had had a lot of discussion and we did visits. We all did site visits to that. And our only concern was, so the way we stood on it was we were gonna replace the sidewalks regardless. And if the trees died, they died and we would replace them. We've had the arborist look at it, Angelo Shambari from the town, and he said they may die, they may not, depending on how much the root system would be taken out with the sidewalk replacement. So our only concern, Elizabeth, was that we were going to lose 3 trees that are 70 years old or whatever. And how do you replace that shade on those sidewalks, and just the shock of those trees being gone? That was our concern.
yeah.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Just so I can visually understand it better. So I understand that you're presenting different options. So if we were to go with the trees, one of the 1 through the first 14, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I gave you 15 trees.
Oh, 15,
For
sorry.
anyone that's,
Which, no, I looked at them, and some of them I favor as well. When you say down Idlewild a little bit more, like, where do you mean?
So right now when you, right now if you look at it at a corner, right? And let's start with the Capitini corner.
Yep.
that tree is set back farther than the first tree that starts, which starts almost at the Storm King marquee sign, right? That sidewalk on the Pepitini side is super wide. I'm not gonna complain about that sidewalk. The sidewalk where that first tree starts is extremely narrow. And it's specifically tough because it's a main entry point with that corner being there. So that tree only is creating this like little way. So I would propose that you just look and you start it back just a little bit farther, either equal distance to where the tree on the right,
Okay.
Pepitini starts. You start the first tree because the sidewalk's
what you
going to be
mean.
up. You can kind of relay it out. But I'm not like
You don't mean like, oh, completely
no. And
down
actually,
Idlewild,
I
like
would prefer adding one
where
back.
the school district would
No,
be.
no,
yeah.
no, not at all.
So you still want some trees there.
Something
Back
beautiful.
to where the other one we took down at the end of
Yeah,
the.
I definitely want one there. I mean, that's but that corner now is going to be a little bit different because remember we're wrapping the
Yes.
sidewalk around. So I don't know if that becomes a crosswalk or what. So that might impact what could actually be planted there. But if there was an opportunity even to set it
Move it in.
inward a bit more,
Yes.
something kind of closer towards the end, because it's right now it's clearly
Yeah.
clearly missing.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you explain if I'm looking at the doors to go into Storm King Lounge?
Yeah.
Will there be any trees to my right?
There should be. I would recommend that there is. Yes. Yes.
I think I'm a little confused also as to
So,
where you're saying
Elizabeth-
we're gonna start,
oh,
we would
okay.
start. Go ahead.
So total number of trees on the Storm King side would be 2 or 3? Maybe add
I would say
one, but
between
they'll be
two
small.
and 3, or you do a combination where if you stick with 2 and because there used to be 3, right? So if you just stick with 2 and just kind of push them down the street a bit and then want to work in that corner, that's where I say we do a combination, and that's where we consider putting like 2 benches with planters in them at that corner area. So that way, bandstand concerts, people that just want to hang out while events are happening, stuff like that, you have now like a little cute little sitting area instead of just grabbing the chairs at Pepitini and plopping them because I see that happening.
Or they're folding chairs. They
a lot, yeah.
I'm just thinking about the sidewalk that we would be removing and fixing. Maybe this is a Manny question, I'm not sure, or Dave, I don't know. If we were to change the tree selection in that area, is it going to mean more for how do you get rid of those trees, and will it be more destruction to the sidewalk that's already there that we'll have to fix? Will it
We're
be?
doing them all, I think.
Yeah, but what does that mean when we do the sidewalks? Are they
just pull the
all
roots out.
ripped
Like if you do
all
them
the
in
way
separate
down?
phases, you mean? Is that what you mean?
Are you asking if it increases the total cost to the village in some way by
Yeah.
doing it like this?
Probably
Right.
not.
If you're gonna cut the tree, you definitely wanna grind the stump.
Right.
Right.
No, you gotta pull stumps out.
You're gonna have to pull that out.
Yeah,
You
that-
Yeah.
dig it
Unless you're gonna put the trees in a totally different spot.
Well, that's my point. I think they should be reconfigured, and
Yeah.
we're willing to take the cost. We'll pay for grinding.
So what
of
you're
the
saying is
stumps.
it's a minimum of 2 trees along Storm King. It sounds like to me if you're standing in front of the entrance to Storm King, 1 tree would be to your left.
Yep.
Not necessarily exactly where the other tree we took down would be, somewhere in that vicinity.
Where it makes
And then
sense.
1 to the right, which is not exactly where it is now, but would actually be closer. Am I right?
Yeah,
Closer.
so I would so if you're looking at the side of the building, I would center them appropriately.
Yeah.
by the door.
Yeah, like by the,
Okay.
like use the doors, actually, that's probably better. I would put them closer, both of them
Yep.
closer to the doors.
Yeah.
Okay, an ADA question, accessibility question, Dave. The tree, I counted it off from the foundation of the building to the tree, the first one that's closest to the corner. About 5 feet. What is the ADA requirement?
Manny knows.
Or Manny?
5 feet, 5 feet
Yeah,
minimum. But you also have to now look at the survey for the
Yeah.
theater
yes.
and see where their property line is.
So on the theater side, they own 1 block, we
Currently,
own
the
2, right?
Trees are in the middle of the sidewalk now.
Yeah.
The trees are in the middle, oh, I see what you're saying, that, okay, because that could be closed off, right, if they got a permit, so therefore, we have to ensure that our sidewalk,
Should be 5 foot wide from the curb line.
okay. Okay,
Unobstructed,
unobstructed,
with a curb cut for ADA on both sides.
yes.
That's new.
Anytime you do anything now, it has to be
I get it.
ADA
I
compliant.
get it.
So I just want to also
We would
just,
do that anyway.
yeah, I just want to just follow up. So if there was an issue with how many feet there were for compliance purposes, we wouldn't consider like doing curb cutouts in any way for a loss of any parking spaces, right? I wouldn't want the businesses, it's a tight,
Lose parking spaces.
Yeah, I wouldn't want others.
I wouldn't want to lose any parking spaces.
If you did a curb cut out, you'd lose parking.
That's my point. So I would just want to make sure that whatever we decided to
So,
do, we didn't lose parking
By
spaces.
rule though, Manny, all we have to do is offer ADA on either side and in and out. That's all we have to.
That is correct.
We don't have to have one
Put
in the
them
middle.
now.
It has to be 5 foot wide, unimpeded for a wheelchair.
I get that.
But when you say from the curb,
That's a wide side.
it's, as long as there's 5 feet somewhere between the building and the curb. It doesn't have to go from the curb 5 feet over.
That other 5 feet, and it might not actually
Storm
be
King
village
side.
property.
What
Oh, sure.
he's saying is that it's
I
private
understand.
property. If you go, he's saying from.
I don't know where to serve it. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at the.
Yeah, but basically, the store owner, owns the inside
Well, it
block.
depends upon
We own
what
the
he's
two
saying.
outside blocks, correct?
Get a permit.
There's only one outside, there's only 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Because it
On
goes from
that,
the
there's one
edge of
story.
their building
The other
out.
across
That's
the
on the
street.
Pepitini or the
The Pepitini has 3, and then across
and
the
the
street.
GHS Jeweler
Oh,
Motivate
The
PT.
chiropractor.
Longer
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
Yeah,
unobstructed.
that's
They
the
have
other
a
way.
beautiful sidewalk.
We own the outside, they own the inside.
Yeah.
Well, that's not, you know,
Don't ask me
hey,
So,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I mean, I'm certainly open to
Yeah, we all are.
to design, to hearing more.
Yeah, I would hear more.
Forming
I
a,
would-
committee, seeing what the final design idea would look like to give final, but I'm personally open to it.
I'm open to seeing, I hate throwing all this extra work. I mean, you've done a lot here, Elizabeth. I would listen to you, I'd look at it. One of the things I would say is if we did go down that road is buying a little bit more of a mature tree. I'm not, not something that's like this big.
Right.
Well, you could see when the locusts were planted, they weren't those little babies,
Yeah.
so we would probably wanna,
Yeah.
but they also grow like 4 feet, 4 to 8 feet a year, they're crazy. But yeah, we would probably
Yeah.
aim for something that doesn't look silly.
To Dave's point and to what the mayor just alluded to, the suddenness of the change and the loss of the canopy, which I know you're very cognizant of it, really would be detrimental for that short-term period before any new growth fills in. And so we had sort of touched on the idea of doing them one at a time over a cycle, even if that means planting a new, less mature tree in a new spot and then letting that establish itself. Larger transplanted trees, especially street trees, they don't always take. And so before you take out what you've got, you're putting in the new stuff. So anyway, so if there's thought to that, I think it all works. I mean, doing some kind of nice improvements to that whole area makes perfect sense. But I think just if there's a way that we can do it in a phased approach so that we don't lose all the shade first year and then, it gradually switches over. That's kind of what we were talking about at Donahue Park as well with willow trees.
I love the sound of that, but then in thinking about the sidewalk itself,
Right.
If
kind of
we,
throws a monkey wrench in
I
there.
agree.
if it massively increases the cost, then 3 years from now, we're redoing the sidewalks
that's-
again. It's
I would
problematic.
be afraid of.
But if it's possible to, proactively plan where you're gonna put the next tree and then prepare the sidewalk in a way that accommodates it later, or, however it might work. One of the trees, if necessary, goes this year, and we plant a new tree in that spot, and et cetera.
I agree in theory. I think for practical purposes, I'm not sure that would pan out. But I'm certainly open to
know till we
hearing
plan.
and listening
Yeah, if you
to
come,
ideas.
yeah, Elizabeth, if you can come back, I mean, we have a schematic here. So if you came back and, with where you would have the trees planted, and you were talking about the benches and all the rest of that stuff, that would, I mean, the board will entertain it.
May I also offer your suggestion of a working group makes perfect sense to me, and there is the Cornwall Conservation Advisory Council and the Garden Club.
Yeah.
It would be amazing to try to get those entities in a room together and maybe kind of
And that's
hash out
exactly
a really good plan.
the
with
people
you.
that chose the locust trees in the, you know what I mean? So it wasn't an individual effort. That's why it would be nice because it impacts everybody. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not an expert in this area in any means, so.
Dave's the CCAC liaison.
Yeah.
So Dave, you can be the point
Yeah,
person.
well, we have an established tree list, and I see that some of these trees are on there.
Awesome.
I don't know if all of them are, but it doesn't matter. It's just basically native species trees, which I think probably most of these are, and that was
Some are and
the
some-
only, yeah, non-invasive. That's
Non-invasive,
only
no
thing,
root
yeah.
systems that are gonna upheave sidewalks.
And like you say, the growth rate, and then how large you can get them. Obviously, the larger, the more expensive they are, but the better off.
I'd like to
the look.
understand maybe a projected timeline.
Yeah.
Well,
On
he's
what
got
it
the
would
time
take.
frame.
Well, we don't have to get the sidewalks don't have to be put in this year.
Doesn't have to be.
Right.
But was it planned that way?
I
I could get it done this year.
I mean, did we budget it for this year though? I don't remember it being budgeted.
Yes. and
We
no,
wasn't initially on our list, right, Dave? When I say our list, I mean, I know you had mentioned it.
I did a good section of sidewalks earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Which we had to remove a tree. The same thing, we tried to dig around it. We
Yes.
ended up having to have it removed anyway. But,
And the other thing too is if the ones we kept, we know that are overhanging your premises, we'd have to prune those back. And the other thing too is if we replace the sidewalks, I'm just pointing this out, right now I'm agnostic to it. Once we rip up the sidewalk, then I'm sure some of the root would be taken out, not that it's gonna kill the tree, but slowly would over time, I guess. So, so Elizabeth, why don't you come back? You can contact Dave, cause he's part of the CACC. And you can come back and show us what you propose.
Okay,
Maybe with some pictures and stuff, that'd be great, absolutely entertaining.
okay, so come back next
Alright.
month while you're figuring out your timeline for the
Yeah.
sidewalks. I don't wanna miss that opportunity where all of a sudden I'm pulling up one day and Dave's out there. with
No,
new
that's not
sidewalks.
gonna happen, yeah.
Okay, okay.
What
thanks.
was the timeline for that, Dave? It was this coming spring, summer?
but to do the replacement, it'd be spring.
Okay,
So it's
Because
perfect.
all right,
much
so you
past, end
got,
of November.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But you're saying with a plan in place, you could replace the sidewalk before the end of November? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, if we got
So it
everything,
sounds like-
if we got everything in
Plan.
place.
Yeah, but
but-
let's plan it the
That
right
sounds
way and aesthetically
That's not a
and
good time to plan
environmentally pleasing, as opposed to rushing.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
first thing I look at is ADA compliant,
Of
Right.
course.
because we're gonna be spending state funds on it.
Yep.
Yep.
So we have to make sure it's ADA compliant.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very
Elizabeth.
much, we
Elizabeth.
appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Okay, moving on. All right, the pollinator, so. I just wanted to recognize this, if you haven't noticed, back on October
little pink gold
11th,
clip already.
several people from the CCAC planted about 115 plants at where our sign is there, and they planted a number of native species plants. I'll just name a few that Nicole and Kate Krimsky advised me of. Butterfly weeds, Virginia sweetspire, orange coneflower, yarrow, hyssop, let's see, bee balm, and they were planted by, let's see, Nicole was there, Angelo Shembri was there planting.
Dave was there.
Dave was there, Deputy Mayor was there, Miss Roshka, Councilman, Roksha, yes, she was there planting too. I think there was one other person. Am I missing anybody, Dave? I showed up late
Angelo
in.
did a lot.
Yes,
He brought us all
yes.
his equipment, yeah.
So this has been, they've been planning this for quite some time.
Hopefully they
And-
take.
Hopefully they take, yes. So what Nicole advised me, and I,
He wants to put some signage there, right?
we're gonna do that,
Yeah.
but, she advised that, while they might look like not
Weeds.
much now, and they might look like weeds, they're not. She said the first year it sleeps, the second year it creeps, and the third year it leaps.
That's right.
So, she had notes that there are several native perennial plants, which means they'll all come back a bit stronger each year. They planted both plugs and new growth. She just advising it's gonna take some time to get bigger, and let's see, they planted over 100 plants, and they will provide a crucial food source and habitat to beneficial insects that keep our ecosystem healthy. And she said you can also go to the Pollinator Pathway site to learn more and see how other communities are implementing their pathways. And she, let's see, what else did she note? And she just wanted to make sure that we thanked the group, which we do. And she also said, she pointed out Katie, which is Kate Krimsky. I gotta thank Nicole, Angelo, Carol. Who's Carol, Dave? I didn't get the last name.
Carol Gold.
Carol Gold, okay. So many thanks to them. And the last thing we're gonna do is, so people understand that they're not weeds, and to kind of leave them alone and not have your dogs touch them,
That
so to
is
speak.
Really important.
We're gonna put up some small we're gonna put up some small signs,
fertilizer.
native species and so forth. And either Kate or Nicole has provided me with some samples of signs, so we'll purchase those and we'll put those up. So again, thank you to those individuals, very helpful, and it's, I'm sure it'll look good in a couple of years.
Some of the foliage looked like it had been tasted. And I wonder if, are they all more or less deer-resistant things?
Yes, they are.
I know.
Plus they're,
There's a resident herd right there next to it.
really,
Yeah, and there's a,
yeah, I know.
there's a
They
resident
sprayed
wood,
them,
there's a
so-
resident woodchuck who's over there, and I saw a giant raccoon across the street that goes over there too, so, yeah. All right.
It's already a
Without
Disney
fencing
movie.
it in.
Perfect.
All right, now with respect to our peace pole that was donated by the Greater Newburgh Rotary Club, which includes the town of Cornwall and Hudson, Regina McGrade, since they sponsor and they administer the military tribute banners. They've provided both the town a peace pole and the village. We've picked out our location. We're gonna put it down in Pageant Stacker Park. I've reached out to Regina. We're trying to install that and have a little installation ceremony, dedication, on next Thursday, the 30th. I was quickly reminded not to do it on Halloween evening. So I'm waiting for Regina to get back to us. We'll post it on our website. Let's see. Moving on to the Storm King Fire Department Inspection Report. Yes, Manuel. So can you speak to us about some of the things that need to, the most important items that need to be addressed?
The important item is the crack in the wall. Needs to be addressed. We need to take action at this time. I know we've done some study, but it's time to come up with a solution and just fix it as best as possible. That should be priority number one.
Okay. All right, and I know a few other things that you noted that need to be addressed, and I know some of them, like Mike Trainer gave me one, or no, Dave, you gave me something that's been addressed
Most of
inside.
the electrical stuff has been taken care of.
Okay.
And as far as the cracks go, I've spoken with our engineer about that not real recently, but we've talked in the past.
Mhm.
That's gonna require us to go out to bid. They have to provide us with a bid document.
Yes,
I can't write the bid document
yeah,
for that. But the cost estimate right now to do those repairs were somewhere in the vicinity between $60,000 to $90,000.
Okay,
I believe,
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, Manny, right?
Yeah, but that goes to show you that the critical situation that building is under.
Okay. I will get online and Pittengar on Deutsch and have, I'll meet with them, have them look at it again, and then, I'll regroup with the board. Let's see, I'm just looking at the cracks, anything else they have?
The
Yeah.
second item would be the hood in the kitchen,
Yeah,
that needs to be completed as well.
okay,
I know it's installed, but I need to do inspection, we need to finalize
okay,
for the user. I don't know if they're using it now, I hope not, but,
all right,
No, it's not.
okay.
yeah, when I went last time, it hasn't been used, so.
I had a question about the cracks.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the cracks, was part of what the study that you referenced was checking for movement over time, right?
Correct.
Is it continuing to deteriorate and get worse?
We gotta get Jason back to take a look at that.
Okay.
That will be his department to determine if he has any more movement.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions of Manny? All right. All right, next up is the stop sign. Requested stop sign at Willis and Stillman. Yes, Manny.
To apologize, there is another concern, there is a kitchen, door in the kitchen that exits onto the adjacent property in the firehouse. The step is about almost 40 inches, maybe 30 to 40 inches high.
Enough, that's
So that is a concern. Maybe we need to get an easement from that property owner next door so we can put steps there. Or remove the door.
When you're saying the White House, when I'm standing in front, the one to the right?
No, but I'm talking about the firehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the kitchen. The kitchen has a door. Yeah, the house to the right, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
The
Oh, in the
west end
back,
of the
oh, I get you.
building.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
We either gotta get an easement to install steps, or we need to remove that door and seal it off.
There's
Okay.
not enough room on village property to put steps.
There's steps there now?
Or is it a,
There's no steps there.
So when
There's
you
no
open the
steps. So
so
door.
it's just a drop
Kinda
out the
nowhere land?
door?
It's a drop
To the
out the
ground.
door, yes.
How much is the
People
drop?
use that door?
Doors.
Probably 30 inches.
Yeah, it's probably where you mount up.
It's just,
No, nobody will use it.
all right.
It-
Do you guys jump out of it?
Do people use it?
Regularly?
Is it
I would
regularly
assume nobody
used?
uses
It's out the
it.
side of the kitchen.
Oh, sorry.
That wasn't
Okay.
always a
It's a
kitchen.
door, it has to work properly.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, no, I
Get
get it.
after you.
Wondered.
It wasn't
All
always a
right.
kitchen,
All
that's
right.
why it's always plastic. It was something else. It was just,
Okay,
that's part.
all right.
Where you-
One,
where we
two,
That way.
okay, got it. All right, thanks, Manny. All right, moving on.
Right, right.
to-
Yeah.
Literally, but they.
Moving on to the requested stop sign. So I told Dave was not here at our, wait. Did you talk, you weren't here at our last meeting when this, when we
No, I
brought
was
this.
in Lake
That-
George.
That's right, that's right.
Right.
So Dave, did I give you a copy of the letter? I know I told you about this.
I saw the letter.
Okay. So, your thoughts on a stop sign?
It's gotta be three-way.
Kind of like the tree guy, right? I'm the no guy.
Yeah.
But stop signs should not be used for traffic calming. That is a given. I tried to pull up some stuff on the state's website today. It was a little difficult, but I did pull up a couple articles from
There.
Cornell Local Roads, who runs a lot of the
Tried to do.
stuff.
Hmm.
Cornell University engineers. They run a lot of stuff for the highway departments. But they say reasons to have all-way stops at an intersection. High volumes of cars, 200 to 300
Still
cars
high
per
volume.
hour.
Oh my
Okay.
God. This is
Per
what
hour.
you're gonna
All
end
right.
up with. Here's
High number of
weeks.
accidents, 5
Gonna
and
end up
12-month period.
Hmm.
Stop,
No visibility,
stop,
which
stop.
that
Right.
intersection is
Two-way.
very visible.
Right.
It's a lot.
And you wanna balance the traffic.
Mhm.
But, and you put up a stop sign, drivers aren't gonna stop. They're gonna slow down and roll through.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a good idea to do it for traffic calming. There's other things that you can do for traffic calming if you want to, narrow the roadway.
This is already a stop.
Yeah.
So they're
What if
gonna,
you did one of
You
those
gotta
slow
get-
children at play kind
And
of signs?
Dave, go ahead.
With
Some
sign- you know,
signage.
The speed limit signs are up. I don't think it's a problem with
Steve had
speeding.
the blinker up there.
We
Yeah,
have a
there's
stop sign. We did a three-way stop at the intersection of Willis and Weeks.
Yeah.
And if you sat there during the day and took count,
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that when I come down there, I
So-
stop
Have you on tape.
because a garbage truck is coming?
So
I stop.
Dave, the deputy mayor is pointing out, he's saying that if you were to put a stop sign, it would not be just one, it would be 3 up there.
Well, I think
Maybe
there,
two. There's one.
there's
current
already one on
Stillman.
Stillman.
There's currently one on Stillman.
there
They wanna
is.
put one on each side of Stillman on Weeks,
On Weeks.
so you have a three-way stop.
Yeah.
I mean, like Tiffany
And-
said, there's other signage.
Isn't there like one of
Possibilities.
those, like,
I know, like.
Children at play,
Children at.
something
This
like
sounds
that.
silly,
Sign
but
up
one of the
there.
things that they put in here, it says, the stop signs actually increase noise and pollution by starting and stopping your vehicles constantly.
Electric cars.
You're creating more pollution, more noise.
Hmm.
Well, that's a
And
stretch.
chief,
yeah, majority of people don't.
in regards to accidents up there,
I haven't, I've been here 14 years, I don't think we've had an accident at the intersection.
It's about the kids.
I know it's,
They
no,
move.
I get it, it's about the
It's a
kids. No,
change as
I'm,
people move in and they
yeah,
have kids.
completely understood.
I can tell you, I went through this with a few years back where somebody wanted these signs up, and the village board passed a law and we put them up. And it was 2 weeks later, one of the residents that campaigned for it actually blew a stop sign and pulled out in front of me. And I kind of laid on the horn, I pointed at the sign, and it was like, oh, I'm like,
I feel like there's other ways that we can help this situation
Yeah.
without stop signs.
I mean, the other sign would be, children at play. I mean, is that, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it's one of the things we could potentially do. Are people gonna necessarily pay attention to it?
I think, I mean, I do. When I see that there's children that are
Yes.
living in a residence, I do slow down when I see the
And,
sign.
and individual properties can put out those little
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
kid
little-
things with the flags as well.
move in the roadway.
No,
Right.
in their
Nope.
driveways, on their property, they can,
And
yeah.
just so the public knows too, you don't put down speed bumps
No,
unless you wanna watch cars get launched.
yeah, no. and
You
no speed
can,
bumps.
you can put in speed humps as you see, like if you go to a mall parking lot
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah.
15
Maybe
feet
by
wide
my
and
house, I
8
could
inches
put
high,
deaf
and they
man
have to be
area.
painted, marked, and well in advance. So you're just gonna add more signage to your,
And then you have the plowing issue and then you have
Picture
drainage
view.
issue.
Like on
you
the
have
Not
drainage
deaf
issues,
child.
correct?
Deaf.
Spacing issues.
I
Deaf
like a neck
barn
down,
way.
like you said, narrow the roadway, put some,
No,
I mean, what about,
not interested in that.
sidewalks?
Well, can you just stripe it?
You seem to, you said you could get them done by the end of November, what, somewhere else?
Cut down some trees to put them in.
Not on weeks.
You're killing me.
All right, so it sounds like, so you know what, at a minimum,
Pass it up, Bill, sorry.
so Dave, maybe at a
There are trees on
minimum, we
weeks,
gotta,
though.
looking to get in a sign, children at
I would be
play.
supportive of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me too.
You would like children at play signs, where would you like?
We don't know yet.
Where
We
the
have to
children,
find the best
where
area,
the
we'll have to
children are,
look.
where the children are playing.
Yes, where there's children
Near,
101, 101
So, look,
weeks.
one of your,
The children have a tendency to move.
yes, well, in the general vicinity. You know what, then, Dave, why don't you reach out to, what's it here?
What's the house number?
101
101.
Weeks. David and Rebecca
They
Smith.
just moved there.
They just moved in, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe speak to them and report back.
And recommend
thoughts?
locations for
Yeah.
suitable signs.
They don't come here, they don't care that.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for that research, too.
The speed sign up there for a while, too.
Yeah, the speed sign was up.
Did request it, it was up there about 2 weeks.
Okay.
What was the high
Chief.
score?
Yeah, actually, that's my question.
I'll have to check that data.
It's probably the garbage truck.
You know, Chief, I don't think,
I was betting on you.
do those signs actually generate data? Like, can you see like the average speed and peaks and stuff and? That'd be good to know. I didn't, it never occurred to me they were
It's
generating
like, oh crap,
a
I'm in
record.
trouble.
You can get it.
But we don't
How
have
can we
it.
get
Let's
that?
not check the Mailer
Yeah.
Avenue one ever.
I think they should say insulting things like when you're.
Right, come on, people. Next
Okay, thanks, Dave, for addressing that. Moving on, last few things. The water treatment plant tax assessment, right now, we're in it's set up for December 9th is our next, I believe it's December 9th, the court date, or December 7th. But right now, we got the appraisal of the water treatment plant. The court has put it over till December, so the town and the village could enter into some negotiations and discuss the same. So I just wanted to update on that. Let's see, moving on. Where's the Seneca chief? So, wait, is it this week? Yeah, the 23rd, right. So the Seneca chief is set to dock at the Cornwall Yacht Club on Thursday, October 23rd, this week. In speaking with the rep from Cornwall Yacht Club, Steve Longinot, he told me that the Seneca chief will dock at around 3 p.m. They're going to have some public comments and introduction, and then what he advises that members of the public can go on the boat at around 4 o'clock, between 4 and 6 o'clock. So, says the public can experience the free, family-friendly activities, and it's noted that while docked, the vessel becomes a floating museum that allows you to step aboard to explore the recreated cabins, view historical artifacts, and engage with interactive exhibits that illuminate the canal's cultural, economic, and environmental significance, including the contribution of indigenous communities. And on shore, they'll have some special events and educational programs. It started up in Buffalo. It's a 33-day voyage, and it's projected to then, within about a week or so, or several days, it'll be down in New York City. So
What time did you say that was?
that's going to be it'll dock at around 3 o'clock.
Oh, 3.
All right.
And it'll be there for a
Clerk
few hours.
advises they're
For families.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
They're planting a tree, I think, at each stop. Would they have seedlings that they brought from
Yes, they're
Buffalo?
bringing Steve told me, a pine tree.
Cool.
And it's, just so people know, it's to commemorate the bicentennial of Governor DeWitt Clinton's 1825 inaugural voyage. All right. So, all are welcome. Let's see. Next, Seneca Chief, the Armistead plaque dedication, that is going to occur this Friday at 4:30. And then tentatively, we'll be doing the EV charger dedication, which is right down the road, even though we have another one up in the municipal lot, thanks to Bill Brain, Trustee Brain. And lastly, the Hometown Hero Banner update. I just wanted to give you an update on that. We had a meeting with Regina McGrade from the Greater Newburgh Rotary Club. First, we're setting the removal date of the 2025 military tribute banners after Veterans Day. So around the 17th, we're going to remove those. And then the new ones will be installed before Memorial Day. And we'll post it on our website. She's got a new email address. If you want to continue keeping your family members' military tribute banner up there on the pole, then it'll be $100 just to renew it. Just so you know, someone had asked previously, question about this was, I'm not going to say complaining, but questioned the fee. And Regina pointed out that the contributions to the club from the 2025 project, the military tribute banners, included sponsoring 2 peace poles. They helped out with a generous donation of 21 boxes of food to the food bank of Hudson Valley, and brand new backpacks with school supplies to the Cornwall Central School District for distribution for the local children in transitional housing. So just wanted to bring that up. And now, lastly, just on to the FYI. So what we have up, we've got the planning board meeting tomorrow at 7 PM. The Seneca Chief Docking on October 23rd around 3 o'clock, and you can board it around 4. The Fire Commission, 4 PM, yes. The Fire Commission meeting is October 23rd at 6 PM. Halloween. So Halloween, hold on, here we go. So Halloween is this, wait, next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. So, yes, despite what council would probably say, I am highly suggesting, Joe, that there's a curfew. Yes.
We always do the curfew.
Okay, so then I can read off my local emergency law. All right. So, whereas there exists the possibility of vandalism and destruction of property beyond the scope of the ordinary Halloween merriment and pranksterism as determined by village officials and police officers, whereas the evidence of such destructive acts have occurred and threatened to continue is apparent at this time, and prompt action specifically aimed at the source of such threatened and actual damage is required to minimize the damage and protect public health. So now pursuant to the authority vested in the mayor of the mayor of the village of Cornwall and Hudson, and pursuant to Executive Law 24, be it ordered that a state of local emergency is proclaimed within the corporate limits of the village of Cornwall and Hudson, and shall be effective Friday, October 31st
Right.
at 8 PM through Saturday at 5:30, Saturday, November 1st at 5:30 AM, unless rescinded or modified. And it is ordered that a curfew for all persons under the age of 18 years during such state of a local emergency between those dates and times is hereby declared, except for such persons who are traveling to or from a bona fide employment or traveling to or from an authorized school activity or an errand concerning medical or other emergency. And they shall, let's see, order that all persons during such state of local emergency shall refrain from following conduct between those hours. Let's see. Presence upon a public street or other public areas in groups larger than 5 persons. Presence in or upon private property in larger groups of more than 5 persons without authorization from the property owner. Presence upon the public streets or public areas while in possession of shaving cream, eggs, soap, rocks, toothpaste, spray paint, flammable or combustible liquids, or any other items which may be used for vandalism. And any person knowingly violating this order shall be subject to arrest pursuant to the executive law. Thank you.
Nothing about horses in there?
Mr. Mayor? I have a
Dave, leave your
question.
horse at home.
That
Yes.
predates.
I have a question.
Yes.
Seeing as how Halloween is on a Friday this year,
Yes.
would it be possible to change that hour to 9 PM from 8 PM?
Yes, we
I
can
would
do that.
second that.
I will. I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. All right. Work session meeting is November 3rd at 7 PM. General Election Day, November 4th, 6 AM to 9 PM here at Village Hall. Veterans Day, the village's offices are closed, and the ceremony at the town
Next day,
at the
schools
World War
are
II Memorial.
open.
No.
And then the zoning board meeting is November 13th at 7 PM.
So 4
Public comment.
and 11
Would anyone
are
like to make a
closed.
comment? Carol? Nothing. Okay, thank you,
Why
Carol.
are you calling on Carol?
Because Carol's the only one here. Well, no, Rick is too, but he's a representative of he's a fire commissioner, so. Okay, board comments. I will open up to board comments.
Congratulations to our employees for being appointed to their various positions. We certainly need them.
Okay.
That's
Anybody?
it for me.
I,
Oh, and that Halloween thing predated Joe McKay for a point of order.
If you remember, was it Joe?
Oh,
No,
it's way
Brendan canceled Halloween one year.
What?
Yes, yes, he did.
But he never changed election day, as far as we know.
State law.
One year he canceled it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff.
There was.
Oh, yes.
I remember that year now.
Power was out.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I thought they
brutal.
did it the following, I know
Yeah,
some
we
people.
did do it.
I
together.
remember
Some people got
that.
pissed
Year
and
was-
still have it. They like,
Our,
It was
our
quite a while
kids were
ago,
the
but it was
age. This
maybe
guy was
like
the age. He
20
was,
years
he
ago.
was
Alright.
adamant.
Something like that, between 15 and 20.
okay, any other comments? Go
Uh,
ahead.
just one more event.
Yes.
November 1st, prepare yourselves, or rain date November 2nd, Donahue Farm, pumpkin chucking.
Oh, that's
Oh.
right, yes.
There is a trebuchet that I think has not yet been revealed to the public because it's
Well, it's not
very
completed just yet.
those
Wow.
pumpkins are going to be
That thing looks fun.
chucking
Yes.
pretty far.
That is.
That's at noon on November 1st or 2nd, based on rain date.
Field will grow.
And I
I just want to mention really
Field will
fast.
grow and they break and grow out in that field too.
Yeah, no, they will. And the request is that people bring their Halloween pumpkins down to the farm on the day after Halloween if they want to get rid of them. And
That's a good idea.
chucked.
I said. Color Bash was a great event yesterday at Donahue Farm. We had about 250 people approximately. The families and kids. We had a DJ. The mayor helped us hold down the arch so that it didn't fly away.
Useful idiot.
And it was really enjoyed by everyone. We had a great time, and all the kids really enjoyed running through the just the village. We ran through to the gazebo and back to Donahue Farm. It was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for all your help. It was really appreciated. Thank you, Chief, for all the police that were there to help guide our little runners in front and behind. And thanks for all the volunteers. We had a lot of children that were volunteering. You know, the high schoolers and the middle schoolers took a really great liking to the event also. So it was all age groups. And thanks for all your help.
I'll just also add a thank you to Lori Beth was the prime organizer of it, though it was sponsored by the youth committee and COH special events. Everybody on the committee played a part, a really important part actually, and it was really helpful and it was successful. And thank you to Girls on the Run for donating the arch for the 4th straight year, and we did not break or damage it, even though with the winds we thought it might be
winds.
possible. And thank you, Chief, and to our police department for your help.
And the wind did move the porta potty. That's how strong it was.
Yes.
So I will second all those thanks. I will include the DPW because that free concert that happened last Sunday that commemorated the 60th anniversary of the Storm King decision. I believe a couple dozen people or 25 to 50 people showed up in the rain, but thanks to your team, they moved the stage from Donahue Farm down to the waterfront and back. So thanks for that. Thanks to the police department, appreciate that, all you've done this past weekend. And that's about it. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
But you fell asleep there at first.